Crafting a speech is an art. Crafting a speech is a lucrative art. It's a hobby. So I would say crafting a speech is just like weaving a dress for a woman. It has to be very graceful, fitting her shape, and long enough to give the grace and short enough to reveal the beauty. So to begin with, how do you normally begin your speech scripting? How do you get an idea that this is the topic I want to give for the speech? Anybody, any experienced and inexperienced Toastmasters, how do you get that first spark of a speech?
Life experience.
Life experiences. Those who cannot unmute and speak can type in as well. Life experiences. One more.
When you have some problem, when you have a
Uh,
personal problem and then it goes behind your mind, and sometimes when you're walking or something, you suddenly strike with an idea, or when you watch a movie, you strike with an idea, then you can convert that into speech.
Yes, an excellent statement. If you have a problem, probably charting it, even if you do not have a solution, even if you can start it as communicating to this audience. Yes, it can turn out into a speech. So moving on, keep typing in case you wish to convey. I would just start sharing my screen. So what are we going to do today is we are going to craft a speech together using the power of visualization, I would say, because a speech is all about visualizing. Yes, it may sound very easy to say, but it is all in your mind. You can go from life experience to problems or observation, but at the end, what you need, the final product speech, is all about how you visualize. So we are going to discuss first the topic you choose to convey. It is completely up to you. It is completely from you. Then structure of a speech. How to get to that point using language, the words, how we can beautify our speech using your body and your amazing voice. How do we do that? Yes, all of these do not come at once. We are actually weaving it just like weaving a beautiful woman's attire. Now, visualize your speech. Imagine, what do you want your audience to feel? What do you want your audience to feel? Just think of a speech topic. For example, I'm going to give you a speech conclusion message. That happiness is inside you. You imagine you want to create a speech concluding that happiness is residing inside you. At the end of the speech, how do you want your audience to feel? Type it in the chat box. Question once again. Imagine your conclusion message is the happiness resides inside you. So as you conclude speaking, what do you want your audience to feel? Type it in the chat box. I'll be eager to listen from you. How do you want your audience to feel? To be happy, they should really feel happy from inside. Yes, about their life, definitely. So, exactly. So, our conclusion message is that happiness resides in you. Now, know your purpose. You want your audience to have a feeling at the end. That is your purpose. What do you want your audience to feel? That is your purpose. Begin from there. Now, I would call upon another metaphor. Imagine your audience as a beautiful girl or beautiful girls. How will you design a dress for them? What is their taste? What is their interest? And what is their figure? You may need to design a dress suiting them, right? So, know your audience. So imagine your audience is a group of students. What kind of speech you will weave in for them? What kind of happiness they will get? How can you make a student happy? What topic? How can you make a group of elderly happy? What can you convey to them to make them feel happy? Think into the minds of your audience. Again, now if it's a Toastmaster audience, the choice is varied. How can you make your audience happy? Now, so as you go through this, I'm going to tell you the structure of a speech. Just keep thinking, what can make my audience happy? So as you keep thinking, remember this, many of you know this, and this is the fundamental structure of a speech. The introduction. Tell them what you're going to tell them. Just like how you pile up stones. It is the first thing that you keep is the base of your structure. We have already placed that space. What could be the base of your speech? It would be who can guess what would be the base of your speech? Type it in the chat box. Every speech should have a base that the speech stands strong. Priya Biju says the message. Pandian says the title. What is the base that holds your speech? The structure, Kalpana, the purpose. I would say all of them are correct. The message, the structure, the purpose, the core purpose is like the spinal cord of your speech, the opening. Now, but if you go deeper, is what will your audience remember even after you finish your speech? That is the base. That's a gripping point. That is the conclusion message. Begin with the end in your mind. I would say before you craft your speech, begin with the end in your mind. So you need not have a real constructed sentence, but along with the purpose and a vague idea of a message, that will be the beginning of your crafting. So from that message, now let's go back to our situation. We want to create happiness, and you want to say that happiness resides in you. So to convey this, you need to begin with what you're going to tell them, and what you have told them. That is definitely the structure of a speech. Now, I would use a metaphor of creating a snowman, just like I have done before, to convey this in a more pictorial way. All right, so let's see what holds the snowman as a base. What will hold your speech firmly would be now, if you look at the order in which I have depicted, The base is the conclusion message, the purpose that you want to achieve, you want to make the audience feel. Think of a story related to that. Now, when I say conclusion message, when I say the conclusion message is that happiness resides in you, is there anybody who can think of a story that you can tell to the audience? 5 seconds time. Are you able to think of a story that you can tell the audience when I say the conclusion message is that happiness resides in you? Will you be able to think of a story? Yes? Yes. Few of you are able to think. Now look at this. You can start from the story towards your conclusion and building up the body of your speech. This big circle I would call is the body of your speech, where you narrate your story. Now, is it enough if you narrate the story? No, you need to get to the point. You need to get to the point by telling them, why did that story happen? Why is it relevant to bringing happiness? How that story will help us learn the lesson that happiness resides in me. Remember, the conclusion message that we are talking about today is how to depict that happiness inside the audience. So how your story will help us bring out that lesson, happiness resides in us. What are the values and beliefs that you have to support that happiness resides in me? Branch it out, the body of the speech. So when I say branch it out, narrate it, the body of the speech, the point is how to get to the point and nail the fact that happiness resides in you. So the conclusion message that we are dealing with is happiness resides in you. How can you get to the point and nail it into the minds of the audience? So remember, when I say to the point, a point is a contention, a compressed fact that you can argue and you can prove with reasoning or data. Do you believe that happiness resides in you? Do you believe in that conclusion message? How do you believe? And slowly build up your argument, one after the other. Build up on your argument and come to the traverse logically into the conclusion. Remember, not to jam too many ideas. Stick to the whole point. Is every argument building up to the same conclusion? Using language. Now, I'm going to give you a quick quiz now. This is how I have portrayed a scene through words in one of my speeches. The words goes like this. The kingdom considered women as the light of the family. Elegant Erimala mountains protected the kingdom. And the beautiful, blissful Balapattanam river surrounded Erimala. What kind of picture does that words portray? Let me show it to you. Now, I'm going to ask you, give you a couple of pictures. You need to tell me what kind of language can I use to depict this scene. Are you ready? Okay, so those who are ready, just unmute and give your language usage. Okay, couple of images.
Question repeat me.
I'm going to give you couple of, as you see the image, write down few words to depict what you see. Okay, so one example I have given you is my own speech narration. The kingdom considered women as the light of the family. The elegant Erimala mountains protected the kingdom. The beautiful, blissful Balapattanam river surrounded Erimala. So this is an example. Okay, now then I'm going to give you the pictures. Let me see who is coming first. If nobody is coming, then I can give
shopping
only,
festival.
You need to use words to describe the scene.
Someone good with English, please tell.
Anybody can do it. Just give it a try. Stuti.
I can try.
Okay, Jinesh.
There is a, what is that bridge? Okay, there's a metro station where people build like a sands in a shore. Dense people, I don't know.
Good enough. Good enough. Dense
people start outing after vaccination in Hong Kong, something like that.
That is a description.
Okay.
Yeah. Go a bit more on describing the people. Who spoke that? I'm going to help you elaborate it. Is that Chandra?
Yeah, I spoke that.
Yeah, Chandra, describe the people.
Cheerful, happy, and busy. People.
Busy people.
Rushing to catch
the things in the mall.
Yes.
Rushing to catch the things.
So
people in the city with happiness, and they roaming as the busy bees in front of the shopping mall or get into the shopping mall.
Yes.
I can use
Yes.
to describe
So
these
so
people.
as you describe the people, the things start getting more, clear. Yeah. So one more.
We don't use pedestrian, we just walk across
Yeah,
the train.
That is a scene in Hong Kong, definitely. So one more. Who can try this?
The smile on
Use yes, Priya, adjectives and words.
mother's and kids' face reminded of the flowers that are blossomed behind.
Yes, definitely. Can you describe the mothers a little more?
Mothers carry twins in that one of them is very happy.
Yes. So describe the mothers. Describe the mothers. Same sentence. Same
The kangaroo
sentence.
felt shy seeing this mother.
Recalling her childhood days.
Okay, good enough.
Mother's is as
The kangaroo felt shy seeing this mother carrying the child.
Kangaroos felt shy. Wait a minute. I want a description for the mothers. What's the feeling in the mother's face?
the mother's love is as beautiful as the flowers blossomed behind.
Oh, very nice. That's a metaphor you have used. That's a simile you have used. Mother's love.
A very content and satisfied mother who is fully in love with her kids.
Yes. Describe the mother. Describe the situation. Describe the feeling. That is what is all about writing. Now, the yummy paisam. Who can describe this? The last one. My time is almost up, but this is interesting. Who can describe this?
Yummy.
Sweet.
The
Tasty.
delicious and sweet payasam with a what topping?
Yes, sir.
Fried cashew nuts and saffron
cashew
sprinkles
nut.
on it.
Sunday
Yes.
or Monday, every day have payasam.
Oh my God.
Which will
Look
make you
at
sleep.
that. Look at that. When we show the food picture, there is lot of words to define it. Yeah.
Most
So-
of the foodies.
Yes. So that
Lip
is what.
smacking, scrumptious payasam.
Amazing. Amazing. With beautiful threads of love in the payasam. How about that?
In the form of saffron. Yeah.
Yes. So this is how you create, that kind of feeling into the audience. Use it as much as possible. Write your story, and probably later you can just go across building these feelings, emotions, descriptions into your words. So I had a beautiful video to show here, but owing to the time constraint, I'm not displaying it today. We will move on to next. The 3 best tips I would like to give you. After what we have dealt with today is these 4 elements, my dear friends. I'm giving a recap. The recap is we saw the structure of the speech. So how to get to the point, logically traversing from one point to the other, how to use language, and how to use body and voice. The 4th part we will see from the prepared speakers today. Okay, so as an exercise, I want you to do something throughout the prepared speeches. I want you to give this exercise to yourself during the prepared speeches. Observe the lucrative prepared speeches. They are an amazing opportunity to learn. Observe it. Okay. I'm going to place 4 questions, and at the end of prepared speeches, we are going to play a quiz. Okay. The 4 questions. Write down a question or a quote you heard at the beginning of a speech. Second, write down a conclusion of any speakers which connected to the opening of the speech. Which is that speaker? Write down a good language usage. A good usage of body or voice. So 4 questions, I'm going to place it to you. Remember these 4 questions. We will play the quiz at the end of the prepared speeches. So right now I'm pausing for a moment. I'll get back to you after the prepared speeches. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.